I was the different one in my family. And when I say different, I grew up in a family of blue collar athletes. And my older brothers were athletes. I had cousins that were athletes. My father was, and an athletic coach. So me being a boy, I think they figured, well, hey, let me get him into sports. And I had zero interest or zero skill in in athletics. And they were trying to suit me up in football gear or put a baseball glove and bat in my hand, and I had zero ability. I didn't want to do it. I didn't like it. I didn't, even to this day, I'm not into sports.
Right.
I don't knock it. I'm just not interested in it. So I became very interested in behind the scenes. I think I told my father when I was like 6, because he was kind of like, why don't you want to do this? And I told him, I said, I don't want to play. I want to own the team. And so that kind of ended that whole conversation there about them trying to get me into sports. But they were trying to toughen me up, which I understand, like in the old school generation. But I started finding my solace into books, and that became my haven. And that became my atmosphere. My sanctuary was the library. And you would find me on Saturdays in the library. And I love to read. I still love to read now. I have a very robust bookshelf. So I love to read. And I think my love of books started at that time. So I became very interested in human behavior, human relationships, human behavior and psychology because of the books I was reading. And so I decided I want to major in psychology. And I also had a creativity side to me. I enjoyed being around creative people. There's energy about it. And so that kind of led me down a rabbit hole of working with actors as well, the performers as a talent agent, which is what I primarily do now in New York City. So that's my primary, occupation. But I also have a doctorate degree in psychology, and I wrote a book, and that book is due to self-sabotage in performing arts.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That's amazing. PhD in psychology, talent agent, and an author. And I've seen your profile, Albert. It's impressive. So I'm curious to know, how did you manage everything?
The key is to kind of find a way or find a method that combines everything.
Right.
And so for my doctoral dissertation, which is for those of you who may not be familiar with it, it's a huge thesis that we have to complete to earn a PhD. So we had to solve like a real world problem or a real world question. And incidentally, I was just starting my PhD when I was just starting my company, my talent agency company. And I was noticing a lot of actors were self-sabotaging. And so that led me down the rabbit hole for my doctoral dissertation, was to kind of figure out what's going on with actors and self-sabotage.